Welcome to Metal Detecting Wisconsin. I have the new Equinox 800 here. That's the center one. The one to the left is the XP Deus, and I have my CTX 3030 on the right. So what I'm going to do today is do a little comparison. It's going to be very short. I'll show you what I'm going to do before I go outside. It's only 25 degrees and it's very windy and we have snow on the ground, but I shoveled out my test area. I have shoveled out the area where I have 3 coins. I think one of them's a nickel. I buried it originally at about 8 inches, an Indian head penny at like 6 inches, and a silver quarter at 10 inches, and that was over 12 years ago, so I know they're a lot deeper. Unfortunately, my CTX 3030's 11-inch coil is not working. It hasn't worked since last fall. It just all of a sudden stopped working on me, and it's pretty much junk now. So I'm going to have to use the big 17-inch coil. I know that's not going to be quite as fair to the Deus and the Equinox 800, but we'll see what happens. And actually in the separation category, it's going to be a disadvantage with the CTX. So here's all 3 of them together. You can kind of see the size difference. I would say the CTX is large, the 800 is medium, and the XP Deus is small in comparison to size-wise. One thing about the Equinox is it is pretty well balanced, and it is light. I do like the way it feels. Not as light as the XP Deus, and I think the CTX is actually balanced a little bit better than that Equinox 800, but I don't know, maybe it's just me and I really haven't been out swinging it that much. So we'll get at it. I'm going to first show you what I'm going to set up outside along with the coins that I have buried. I'm going to try this test and see if they can pick the dime out with the nail directly on top of it. That's a silver dime, by the way, and I have a silver quarter here. I'm going to surround it with some iron, a couple nails, and a bolt that's all rusted. This stuff that I did find in the ground. I know there was a video out there with a quarter surrounded by iron with the 800, and I was really surprised that it wasn't picking it up in there. So I'm going to do that same test myself. I know this isn't going to be the most extensive test, but I'm going to just run it just for my curiosity, and I'll post it up and let you can post your comments and thoughts. So that's it. One other thing I'd just like to mention is I am going to the UK in a few days for a 10-day metal detecting hunt. I'm taking the Deus and the Equinox 800 along with me. I'm going to rely mainly on the Deus just because the Equinox is new to me, but I will be doing some hunting with it, and I plan on trying to post up a few videos while I'm over there. Might even try to do a few comparisons. We're just going to see how time goes and everything else. So let's get at these tests. Well, I'm outside. Here's my conditions here in Wisconsin. I did dig out an area of this test bed. So I got the CTX here, and what I wanted to mention, and I'm not going to get into details about how I have this thing set up, but this is just my normal program that I always use when I'm either coin shooting or even field hunting. I use this program a lot because I either use open screen or some discrimination. So I did a noise cancel on the CTX, and I'm on manual 25, and I did make a mistake with what I have buried here. I have a Indian head penny, and it's coming in on the CTX with the 17-inch coil about 9 inches, so I'm guessing it's about 8. Then I have a silver dime that's coming in, I think, in the 10-inch range, so it's probably about 9 inches down or so. And then a silver quarter that was originally at 10 inches down, but that's coming in like 11, 12 inches. But you do get a little bit deeper readings with this bigger coil, so at least that's the way I look at it. So I'll show you what it's doing here. This is the Indian head penny. No problem hitting that. It's coming in like 1242. I had it down like 1234. Just depends which way I'm hitting it. Here's the silver dime showing 11 inches on the meter, and the quarter. Just picking it up a little bit. Okay, and I'll do that nails around the quarter. Nothing, we're getting a little grunt of iron. And then the nail on top of the silver dime. It's actually picking it up that way. This way it's nothing. So we'll get the Deus next, and we'll give that. Okay, I got the Deus. Again, with the Deus, I'm using a program that I normally use for kind of an all-around program. Sensitivity is at 92. It's at 18 kilohertz right now for frequency, just because the other ones are a little noisy here in my yard, so I usually do most of my testing with 18. So I'll give it a shot. This first one here, this is the Indian head penny. I'm getting a little bit of a whisper, which is kind of what I'm looking for, is that I know it's deep. So I have to say, with the Deus, I have trouble getting depth out of this thing, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get these next two. Getting a little tiny whisper on this dime. And again, this is 11-inch coil. The CTX, in all fairness, had the 17-inch, so it's going to get a little bit deeper. And the quarter, I'm not really getting anything on that deep quarter. So now the quarter that's surrounded by the iron. Nothing. I'm getting a little squeak here and there. If I slow it down though, I can get it. Too fast. And I don't want to get into detail on my settings. If somebody wants them, they can post them, but I'm just using what I normally use when I'm out. And this is doing about the same as the CTX, picking it up in that direction. And this direction, nothing. So we'll get to what everybody I know wants to see, and that's the Equinox. Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. Got the Equinox 800. I'm going to use all factory preset programs. I think I'll maybe adjust. I'm going to turn the volume up. I already did that. I actually turned it all the way up so you could hear it better. And sensitivity, I'll maybe play around with that a little bit. I'm going to try Park 2 and Field 2, which seem to be the two programs that are probably going to be my kind of base program that I will probably start out with anyway. Field 2 for sure when I'm over in the UK. That just seems like it makes the most sense. So first we'll try this penny here, Indian head penny. Seems like no problem at all. It's showing deep on the meter, 26, 28 for a number. Here's the dime. It's even deeper. I'm getting a little bit of a whisper on this dime. But I think I would probably dig that. It looks like the faster I swing, the better it hits on it. Here's the quarter. Little tiny hit on the quarter too. This is all factory preset, so maybe it'll do better if I jack up the sensitivity. So here's the quarter surrounded by the iron. That's actually doing better than the other two. See it hitting on the top of the coil. And the top of the coil is really hitting it good. 21, 23. I don't know what the normal quarter number is for this. We'll check that out in a minute. dime too, we're hitting it no problem. 26. So let's move this nail out of here and just see what the normal VDI is. 27. A quarter. 30, 31. So let's first turn up the sensitivity. See if I remember how to do that here. I think all I have to do is just press the plus button. Yep. That's pretty noisy, but we'll turn it up to 25 and see what happens here. Not as stable, but that's the penny. Yeah, the EMI is, I think, actually affecting its ability to detect. So that's not what we want. Turn the sensitivity down. Let's go up to 22. That's a little better. That's much better than 20. Okay, let's just try one more thing. Let's go to park. Try the different mode. We'll try. Well, actually, I messed something up here. I'm in beach 1 for some reason. I don't know what I did there, but let's go back here. Okay, now we're in field 2. And our sensitivity is at 22. That makes sense. Okay, now we're getting really nice signal on that. Much better signal on that dime too. Sorry about that. I didn't know how I changed the program. I guess I pushed the wrong button. So just going up two notches on sensitivity, I'm getting a better hit on both of these really deep coins. So now let's just go to Park 2 and see what that's like. I think the sensitivity transfers over. Yep, still at 22. Oh, I see what I did. That's no problem either with that penny. Hitting the coin pretty good. The dime actually sounds even better than the field 2. And the deep quarter. Try a different angle here. You see that depth meter is showing it all the way down on this dime. It's actually hitting it pretty good, giving me a pretty diggable signal, I would think. There's no problem hitting this Indian head penny. Okay, so there you have it. I guess I'll let you guys be the judge. I say the Equinox looks pretty impressive, just in factory set program, doing actually I think better in depth than the Deus, which I wasn't not surprised with that. I don't usually use the Deus for deep hunting, more for separation and iron. I use it a lot in fields, and I use the CTX mainly for coin hunting. And like I said, the 11-inch coil is on the brink, so I can't really do much of a comparison. Had to use the 17-inch. So thanks for watching. Look for some of my videos being posted on my UK hunt, and then some of my videos once I get back here in the States. Well, I just wanted to add a few more comments to the end of this video. First of all, I want to apologize for the I would say, poor quality of it. I kind of rushed through it because of the cold weather, and I just wanted to get this video out. So I know I messed up a little bit with switching program, and I don't know, it just not the best quality as far as like content video I've ever made, but at least it's something for, I know a lot of you guys are chomping at the bit to see what this thing can do. So the other thing I want to add is this was actually the first time I turned on, well, I turned it on to pair the headphones and the WM8 and to make sure the thing was working, but otherwise than that was the first time I actually monkeyed around with anything on the menu, so I apologize for the roughness in that. The other thing is I really feel that this Equinox 800 is equivalent to the Deus and is equivalent to the CTX as far as performance, just from what I saw, just from that little bit of playing around with it. And those are factory set programs. And you have to remember too that the 800 is a $900 metal detector. The Deus and the CTX, well, everybody knows how much those things cost. So my hat's off to Minelab for putting out a detector that's this nice a quality and has this kind of performance at that price. So one other thing I want to add is if anybody's wondering about the portability of the Equinox, I'm going to just show you my suitcase, my carry-on suitcase I have packed. What I have in there is I have the XP Deus with 2 coils and everything that I need for the XP Deus in this carry-on, and I have everything for the Equinox 800 in there, plus a bunch of other gear in this carry-on. The only thing I'm putting in my backpack that I'm carrying on is the headphones for the Equinox, because the box is a little big and I can't quite get it in there, but that's really not that big a deal. So if anyone's wondering about portability, so I'll flip the camera around here and show you. So this is my carry-on, and I have the Equinox, the whole thing, and this is a standard size carry-on suitcase. I think it's might be Samsonite brand. So Equinox is all in there, and then the other side I have everything for the Deus is packed in there. Like I said, the only thing I don't have in here is the headphones for the Equinox. I'm even going to put part of my belt kit is going to go in there also, and that's my power bank that I bought, the power bank converter, which actually is perfect for charging the Equinox and its headphones and the WM8. It puts out, I think, 5 volts at like 2.1 amps, so it's perfect for charging. I charged up the WM8 and the headphones on that power bank. If anybody wants any info on that, you can just leave me a message. One thing I did want to add was the lower rod did not fit in here. So I'm not recommending this to everybody if you don't need to do it, but I actually did it. I cut a section of it off so that it would fit. This, in my opinion, the rod is a tall man rod. So this is about how much I cut off, 1.5 inches maybe. It's a tall man rod. For me, it was plenty long enough. I think I had it in the middle position, and I still had plenty of rod, probably a good another 6-7 inches I could extend it out, and that was more than enough. So for me, it justified cutting it off so I could get it in this carry-on. And what I did was I took I used the holes on the end that receives the lower rod as my guide on where to drill the hole, and all I did was went 1 hole away from where the push button was, which is this push button. And it was pretty easy. I left the push button in the hole here, and then all I did was use the screwdriver to just push it down into the new hole. The size of the hole is 15/64. That was perfect size. And then what I used to cut the rod is I used just a standard pipe cutter for cutting copper pipe. Now you got to be careful when you're cutting that fiber rod with this, because you don't want to crush the rod, so you need to just slowly turn it in as you're rotating it around, and it worked perfect. And then I just sanded the end of it to get it smooth, and it works great. So I guess that's it. It'll be the wrap up for this video. Again, I hope you keep tuned in and come back and watch some of my videos from the UK.